Hello and welcome to Coach's Corner. My name is Dean Meagher. Today we're going to be talking about holing those important 6-foot putts. Now we all know they can be the make or break, whether you have a good round or not. And I'm going to talk to you today about a process in developing skill in this area. Like anything, it requires skill. And to develop skill, we need a process. I think a lot of people don't really have a process for developing their 6-foot putts. They'll just go out there and hope for the best. Unfortunately, that's not going to help you. So let's get into the business. Starting with alignment. Make sure you are aligned well, both with your club face, the alignment of the putter, and your general alignment of your body. So let me just talk to you about important areas to think about with that. So I've got 2 alignment sticks here. Generally when I do some practice, I'll have these parallel alignment sticks about just wider than my club head on about a 6-foot putt, straight uphill putt. I just want to know, can I send the ball straight up and down and not push or pull my putts? So to be able to do that, I'm checking my alignment, starting with my club face. I want the line on my putter to be matching the line of the parallel lines. I'm not too worried about my feet. I don't mind if they're slightly open or slightly closed or square, but more importantly, I want to align my shoulders really well. I find if I am taking the club outside and hitting this outside alignment stick, it's because my shoulders are open. Likewise, if I'm hitting the inside one, I've got my shoulders too closed. So I'm trying just a nice square alignment. You can do this by putting a club, again, up to your shoulders and just testing to see if that is aligned the same as the shafts down there. So I want my club putter face aligned square. I want my shoulders to be square, and I'm just going to hit as many putts as I can up and down. I'll spend about 15 to 20 minutes just rolling putts straight. And I find if I've got my club face square, my shoulders square, and I practice in between those shafts up and down, my alignment gets better and I don't have to think about it anymore. Because the next step is going to be about your grip tension. And I always like to talk about quiet hands when I'm putting. To do that, you need to not be holding the putter too heavily, so too tightly. I don't really mind how you hold the putter. If you do this, overlap, claw. At the end of the day, you just want your hands to be quiet. And the best way of doing that is to make sure you're holding the putter very softly in your hands, and to make sure the bigger muscle groups are working, like your shoulders. So when I'm actually doing that parallel shaft drill, I'll also be noticing my grip tension. So I feel like I'm holding the putter probably about 1 to 2 out of 10. Very soft. It's almost slipping out of my hands, but not. So once I've got my hands really soft, I've got to make sure I feel my bigger muscle groups working in my shoulders. A good way of feeling that is sometimes putting the club under your arms and just rocking your shoulders side by side, keeping your hands and your elbows nice and relaxed. So if you've got that going well for you, your alignment and your quiet hands, the final thing to work on with a 6-foot putt is making a definitive read and sticking with that read. When you're out there playing on Eleonora's difficult and deceptive greens, you need to not be able to doubt yourself when you're putting. You can't make a read and then as you walk into the ball or over the ball, start to doubt that read, and as soon as you're put into 2 minds, it's all over. So whatever read you make, ideally make it 6 feet behind the ball, nice and low, getting down, trying to sense the slope in the green. If you can't see any slope, your definitive read is dead straight. If you can sense a little bit of break, then allow for that. But you make your call back here, and as you walk into the ball, you want to be focusing on committing to that read. So when I'm over the ball, all I'm doing is committing. How do I commit best? I've got my ball there. I've got a little spot maybe on my line that I've chosen, or near to that spot that I've chosen, and I've got the middle of the hole. And as I'm over the ball, I'm looking at the front of the golf ball, joining to that spot and to the hole. And I'm running my eye up and down that as many times as I can just before I putt. I don't want to be spending too much time over the ball, but as I'm having my practice strokes, all I'm doing is running my eye back to that spot, back to the hole. Front of the ball, spot, hole. And as I do that more and more, I forget about my stroke. I trust in the work that I've already put in with soft hands, and I hold it dead center. And I find if I follow that process, that routine, I get better at holding 6-footers. So if you're noticing on the golf course, you're not really starting the ball on line very well, then I would get you to do the parallel shaft drill. If you notice also that you feel like your hands are getting involved at certain parts, like you feel a bit twitchy over the ball, or you just feel like they push and pull the putt, you need to work on softening and quietening your hands and working on maybe a bit of shoulder movement. If on the golf course you're also second guessing yourself, then you need to really learn how to commit, and over the ball, doubly commit. Commit to that line, see the line, spot, ball, hole, and you'll find you'll hole a lot more putts and get your confidence going in the right direction. But that's a good process that I've used for a very long time. I find it works for me. Hopefully it works for you too.